is the most important component for a healthy family as it acts as a source of refuge, place of solitude, comfort, and safety. For the Pasaylo family, staying together inside the comfort of their own home is all they can ask for.
Masaya ko ngayon, mga bata natulog, hindi maulanan, dili na kulba magan bagyo.
When Super Typhoon Yolanda ravaged the country in 2013, Bantayan Island in the northernmost part of Cebu was one of the worst hit in the Philippines. Bantayan Island was cut off from all forms of power and communications from neighboring towns, especially in Madridejos. In the aftermath of the storm, the once popular tourist destination looked like a war zone. According to the local government, 90% of the houses in the 3 towns of Bantayan were totally destroyed by Yolanda. It's been 3 years since Super Typhoon Yolanda made landfall in Bantayan Island, but the memory of its destruction and devastation still haunts the island's residents up to this day. Hilda Pasaylo and her husband can still vividly recall the gust and rain brought about by the typhoon, demolishing their home for more than 15 years in just mere minutes.
Dito dati among bahay.
Nakatira kami sa tabing dagat. 15 years kami doon nakatira. Pagdating ng alas 8 ng umaga, nag-umpisa na yung hangin. Bagsak kaagad yung sa harap namin na malaking puno. Yun, naghiwawan, umiyak na yung mga bata. Ang laki na. Tapos sila ng kuya ko, kumuha sila ng tubo. Naglipara na yung mga sin, parang mga papel lang.
Even at the evacuation center, which was supposed to be safe, Hilda, her family, and other evacuees felt powerless from the wrath of the storm. At times, they couldn't help but think that they had reached the end of the line.
Sabi niya, hawakan mo yung bata, higpitan mo ng hawak. Tago kayo doon sa ilalim ng upuan ng mga dis. Sa paaralan, tago kayo, tapos sisirain ko yung likod. Kaya pala, yung katapat pala namin ng classroom, wala nang tao doon. Sinisigawan na kami, labas na kayo dyan, labas, hindi namin narinig. Lakas kasi ng hangin.
But the tribulation doesn't end there for the residents of Bantayan. With no homes to return to, no means of livelihood, and late arrival of aid and relief goods, Hilda and the other victims were forced to survive one day at a time, pushing their luck for over a year in evacuation centers, living with whatever resources and scraps they could find.
Linakasan ko loob ko kasi meron akong 5 anak. Sabi ko na, nang darating din ang panahon na may tao na tutulong sa amin na ganito na makatayo kami pabalik.
Filipinos are known to be tough as nails. Even with the strongest of storms, the Filipino spirit remains tough and enduring. This became the driving force of Hilda and her husband to persevere through the challenges brought upon by the storm, which would normally break the weakest of hearts.
Sabi ko sa sarili ko, tatayo ako, hindi ko papayagan na habang buhay ganito kami. Ayoko na ibalik ang mga anak ko dito. Kasi gusto ko matulog ng mahimbing ang mga anak ko nga hindi niya kinukubutan, hindi niya itakbo kung mayroon hangin at saka alon.
There's so many people out there that have lost everything and they have nothing. And I have more than what I need. That was the burden. I felt even convicted. The Lord was saying, what did you do? So that is when I realized that I gotta do something sustainable.
As strong as Yolanda was, the outpouring of support was even stronger. A 5-star hotel in Cebu became one of the thousands of donors of relief goods and medicine. But in a disaster as complex as Yolanda, food packs were simply not enough. That much was clear to the group.
Also made me realize there's so many people out there that have lost everything and they have nothing. And I have more than what I need. That was the burden. I felt even convicted on the food and medicine distribution we did a couple weeks ago. It was so loud. The Lord was saying, what did you do? You gave them something for 2 days. What's next? So that is when I realized that I gotta do something sustainable.
They approached an established community development group to come up with a plan to help victims of Yolanda that would do more than just fill up their stomachs for a couple of hours. The first thing they did, they built them houses. Houses that were far from the shore and therefore farther from harm, resilient to disasters, and adheres to the humanitarian standard of building shelters that bring dignity to families who occupy it. So far, they've built 160 houses, 40 each in disaster-hit communities in Bantayan, Cebu, Sagbayan, Bohol, Alang-Alang, Leyte, and Hernani, Samar.
On top of that, we want to make sure that these people don't think that they can retire. So we started a mentoring program. So we have a licensed social worker, full-time, that basically visits the community. Each community twice a month, teach them basic bookkeeping, watch whether they are really using the resources we gave them. Because at the end of the day, I want them to be entrepreneurs. When you raise more entrepreneurs, create more wealth in the market, they will in turn become your future customers. So it basically comes back.
The program involved the community and the construction of their homes. It was a way to make them feel that they have truly earned it, giving them a strong sense of ownership and restoring their sense of purpose.
On this particular site in Madridejos, the families that that receive housing units here are those families that used to live in the coastal areas of this particular town. As we all know, it's now prohibited to build living spaces or to build shelters or housing within the 40-meter zone from the shoreline. So the mayor have asked all these families who were in that area to be relocated in this particular site.
Building their home became the Pasaylo family's favorite pastime, even bringing their children who were more than willing to help, if only to build a house far from the sea that almost took their lives.
Para may disenteng tirahan ng mga anak, ayos pag-eskwela.
Trinabahuan talaga niya yan. Paghirapan ko talaga yun kasi para sa mga anak ko, pasalamat ako nga mayroong hope now na dumating dito na tumulong sa atin.
The family moved in December 2014. Just like the Pasaylos, most of the other families relied on fishing to get by. Before Yolanda, they rented boats to be able to fish, and profit from their catch would be significantly cut by the share of the boat owners. And that is something that the group also wanted to address with the rebuild program.
Beneficiaries, we came up with this idea of providing them motorized fishing boats. Large enough, about 25-footer boats, large enough to accommodate about 3 or 4 persons on it, and small enough to be managed by a family.
Malaking pasalamat namin doon yung dumating dito ang Hope Now, na ganito pala, ganun pala. May tao pa pala nga ganitong mga puso, gininto ang puso daw, tutulong sa atin, mahihirap.
The best thing that ever happened is that when my 4 children were small, they all hate me. They all hated me because they all thought that I was a money monster. I started this Hope Now, Yolanda Rebuild program and all of this. I've never experienced the same love that I'm experiencing with my children. And that is something you cannot buy. They love this. That's why this is the dearest to my heart right now.
Ito pong tanglad na sa ngayon hawak-hawak natin parang kugom na pag itinundos sa lupa, kusang tutubo ito. Kasi hindi ho pinapansin sa amin talaga ito maging sa Balintawak po hindi ho pansin talaga ito